Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. In a previous video I showed you how you can build this power switch that I used in one of my projects to be able to control the power to 12 volt sensors from a 3.3 volt input that I had coming out of an ESP32. And the purpose of the board was to cut power to the sensor when the device is at sleep, so we can then make sure that we are not wasting any battery power while the device is off. But there is a problem with it, and in this video we're gonna be solving that problem. The actual problem became apparent when I paired my power switch together with this. This is a solar charging controller that has an MPPT function and can charge a 12 volt lead acid battery from a solar panel. And because the way this operates and adjusts the power, it created a lot of interference and a lot of electrical noise that was actually hurting the transistor here, and it partially kept the circuit open when I had it connected and charging the battery. And to mitigate that, I tried adding several capacitors on the circuit to try and smooth out and filter those out, but unfortunately my knowledge of signals and noise and levels and filtering is just limited, so I wanted to go a different route and I created this as a prototype. As you can see, this uses an optocoupler instead of the transistor to switch on the MOSFET. So that way we have a circuit that completely isolates electrically the two circuits and get rid of the problem that we have. Now, since I knew that I'm gonna need multiple controller like this for the upcoming builds that I have for a client, I went ahead and designed an actual PCB that we can use to help us build the controller quite fast, and I manufactured them at PCBWay, which are in fact the sponsor of today's video. If you're building an electronic project, PCBWay makes it really easy to turn your idea into a real product. They offer high-quality PCB manufacturing, PCB assembly, and even services like CNC machining and 3D printing. So you can go from a prototype to full production all in one place. I like that you can simply upload your PCB design files and get an instant quote, and their engineers check the design before manufacturing to make sure everything is ready to go. PCBWay can handle everything from quick prototypes to complex multi-layer boards with full testing and quality inspection to make sure your boards work perfectly. And right now, PCBWay is also running their 12th anniversary badge design contest, where you can design a badge and have a chance to win prizes while showing off your creativity. If you want reliable PCB manufacturing for your next project, check out PCBWay using the link in the description. The board itself shares almost exactly the same footprint. It has the same position for the MOSFET and all of the connectors because that appeared to be working in the previous example. The only difference is the control side circuit, where here we have the placement for the optocoupler and a suitable resistor so we can drive its LED from 3.3 volts. And on the back side, instead of me doing all the manual work and all the connections using wire and solder, I can directly solder the components and everything will be connected as it should be. Now let's go ahead and build one of the boards so we can give them a test. I'm gonna start the build process from the resistors, and the first one is R1, which is a 10K pull-up resistor on the MOSFET. I'm gonna bend the lead slightly so it doesn't fall off. And second one is a 100 ohm resistor for the optocoupler, and depending on your control voltage this can be changed, and we can add it here, and I'm gonna bend it outward as well. Now let's solder those in. Okay, so next up is the optocoupler, and I should have probably added a dot here on the footprint to indicate how it orients, but we have a square pad there, and that aligns with the dot on the optocoupler, so I can place it inside. And let's see if this will stay like so we can at least tack it with solder. Okay, that's now in place. Let's add the MOSFET. And lastly, we can add the terminals where we're gonna have the wires connected. Now going forward, I think I'm gonna solder the terminals first on the boards before I add the MOSFET, because that increases the size and the height of the board, so I can no longer lay it flat on my bench, but I'm gonna do one side at a time so we can make sure that we have at least one leg soldered. And because these have thick legs, it is important that we keep the heat on it for longer than what we had on the other components, just so we can make sure that they are soldered through. And once we have the leg tag, we can apply pressure from the back, heat that up again, and we can be sure that the component is nice and flat on the PCB, because in this first instance you can see that it's not really laying flat as it should. So we're gonna heat it up and make sure that it's nice and flat. Now we can solder the other two legs. And finally, we can add the two output terminals, which are just exactly the same, but they have this slot on the end that you can slide together to make wider blocks. So you see now we have 4 channel blocks, and I'm gonna add the 2 laid on the bench like so, and do exactly the same where I'm gonna solder just one of the pins and make sure that the alignment is right afterwards. And we can now solder all the rest of the pins. And just like so, in just a few minutes, what took us probably half an hour to build, now can be built in just a minute or so with the right components and everything being connected directly. And that's the beauty of printed circuit boards. So if you have a project where you need to do something multiple times, then I would advise that you go ahead and design and build your own custom PCBs. Now that we have this build, let's connect it to the control so we can verify that it actually works. Okay, now here is the little setup that I have. I have my controller here on the side that has a GSM module because I'm controlling everything through a SIM card. This gives the signal to the power controller, and also I have a UART to RS485 converter because on this side I'm powering an RS485 temperature and humidity sensor as part of the circuit that I have designed, and just for demo purposes so we can see when we have power applied to the sensor, I have this light connected on the output on the controller board that we just built, and that is being powered from a separate 12 volt coming in from my bench power supply. Now on this side the controller board connects to pin GPIO 41 on this side, and I have a little script running that when I power this on, it powers the sensors, because currently I have power applied here and we can see that the MOSFET is off because there is no output on the sensors. Now let's take the USB lead and plug the controller in. That should immediately turn on this light as well as the power to the sensors, which it does. And we're gonna see here that it should start communicating with the sensor. And after it's done, you see that it immediately cut off the power to the sensor. Now it's gonna send the data that it read, and it's gonna go into a deep sleep for about a minute. That's why I'm testing. And once it wakes up again, it should apply power again to the sensor, do the reading, and power it off again. Let's wait a second to just verify that. We can see that the board went into deep sleep because power to the GSM module is also cut there. Let's give it a few more seconds. So now it's in a power saving mode, and any second now it should wake up and apply power to the light, so we can see that it powers the sensor as well. And there it goes. Now it does all the measuring once again. It reads everything from the sensor, sends the data, and the cycle repeats. I might have a wire loose here. So let's press the reset button so we initiate the cycle once again. And we can see that it does some reading there. And as soon as that is done, it's gonna turn off all the sensors and save power. And with that, we just verified that our board works and that we haven't made any mistakes on the PCB, which is always a good sign. This is not my first PCB that I've built, so if you want to see more PCB builds, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like this video if this was helpful for your next project. YouTube thinks that you're gonna like this video next, and I'm gonna see you all in the next one. Cheers!